Okay, today we're back in the studio with some natural dyeing experiments to produce some astonishingly bright yellows, muted greens, and lovely oranges. This has been one of my best dyeing experiences so far, and I'm going to share my process, how I accomplished this. Fabric dyeing for me always happens in spurts. I do nothing for a while, I'm doing other things, but then I see either a plant popping up or I'm working on a project and I wish for a specific color, and then I come back to it. This time, what caused getting my equipment out of storage was driving by a field of goldenrod, an abundant yellow flower which produces yellow tones. In the past, I've used it a little bit, gathering a few flowers here and there and getting some nice shades. But this time I wanted to use a lot. So I stopped the car and picked a bunch full, thinking I might get some good shades. Starting a dyeing project is always a bit of a commitment. It's not all done in an hour. It is a bit long and winding and always takes much longer than you think. Although in the end I'm always very happy I did it. Goldenrod is a native North American plant that blooms in late summer to early fall. It grows in sunny fields, roadsides, and can be used to dye wool and silk as well as cotton and linen. And it's considered rather invasive and almost a weed, so it's fine for picking. When dyeing, you primarily use the flower part, however it is okay if some leaves and some of the stems also slip in. When getting the pot together here, it struck me just how much flower material I had to work with, and that is always really nice when it comes to dyeing. Like the more the better, because then you can get brighter shades and, of course dye more fabric. Last time I used goldenrod, I think I did pretty good. I remember thinking I should do this again, however, so here we are. I got my big pot, and by the way, if you're getting into fabric dyeing, you really cannot have a pot too big. The bigger the better, although it does take forever to heat up. While this was getting warmed up, I got my fabric, all of it mordanted. Some of the stuff with darker color also had tannins added ahead of time, either sumac leaves or oak gall or acorns. I'm not quite sure what's what. I like to soak my fabric in water for a while beforehand to get it nice and ready for absorption. While waiting for the water to get hot, I was going through some of my fabric stash and found a nice piece of linen I had forgotten about, so I started a tanning bath for that. Or a bath with tannins, now that I'm back into the world of dyeing after a bit of a pause. Then tomorrow I'll mordant it and get it ready for some more dyeing. After a while we were getting some color, and I make sure I don't boil the flowers. To be honest, that's pretty hard to do with this size pot anyway. I like to heat the flowers up gently, anywhere from like 1 to 2 hours. At this point we're pretty good, and I'm removing the plant material from the liquid. Now to say that I was amazed would be an understatement. The white linen. That's just more dented, but no tannin. It's amazing. Throughout the past couple of years, as I have played around with fabric dyeing, I don't think I have ever had such a strong color change that quickly. I was fascinated. Look at that color. Look how bright and beautiful. So yellow. Shocked. Whoa. Well, this, I did have a very large amount of goldenrod for this. I did go out on a field and pick a massive amount, but still, this is just so cool. I'm just thinking there's so much color in this, I might need to put more, you know, after this, do another bath of other stuff. I cannot believe this. This color is just amazing, and the green I'm getting from this other tannin. So bright. And I'm thinking how it's going to look when I over dye it with indigo later too. Not all of it, of course, but some of it. After about 2 hours of gentle simmering, and here I have a combination of cotton and linen fabric. And by the way, I had to switch my dress because I got some splashes of the dyeing liquid on it, and immediately I got yellow spots. So I put some soap on the spots and threw the dress in the wash, hoping for the best, and switched clothes. So what I do is I fill a pot with regular water and then fish the fabric out and place it in the cling pot. Let it soak for a little bit, and then I'll hang it out to dry. Repeat with the other fabric, and then put the pot back on the burner to add some more. The fabric I'll let dry and then put aside for at least a week, maybe 2, before washing in the washer to let the color set properly. You really do not want to wash it too soon. It really does affect the color. Like, some of it will wash away if you wash it too quickly. For my new batch of fabric, again I have a combination here, all mordanted, some with tannins added and some not, which is why the colors all look a little different here. Now, since we were getting such interesting results, I figured why not alter the color on some pieces further. You know, let's play a little bit here. I've got a copper solution, basically copper pipe that I've soaked in vinegar for months. I also got an iron solution, which is steel wool soaked in vinegar. I added some to the water in 2 separate pots. Cut a piece of fabric here because I was thinking, since I want to play, it's nice to have a control group. So I have like my original piece of linen, which I had 2 pieces of. And then I cut one of them in half so that half of it I can use for the iron and half of it for the copper. That way it's easy to see. So first of all, I was waiting to see if there was much of a change, just putting it in with iron and the copper, and there was not. I figured we probably need heat. So once my second batch of fabric was done, I switched the liquids and added the iron solution first in the pot, heated it, and we got a much bigger change right away. Kind of what I was expecting, a bit greenish, a bit duller, you know, nice, darker. Now, for the copper, I haven't played around much with this before, so I wasn't sure what to expect. Now, for the longest time, I thought nothing was happening. I figured the color might not change that much with copper. But then, after a while, it struck me, this is starting to look a bit like orangey. Or are my eyes deceiving me? I mean, it is getting darker in the room. Better get a test swatch, like the one I started with, to compare. And look, what a difference! Wow, at this point I was like, okay, I have to get more fabric in here. I like this shade, that's kind of interesting. Also so unexpected, like this whole experience so far today. I've been getting such bright colors, and now orange. Orange is a color I have not come across yet through my different dyeing attempts. So I added one of my original cotton yellows to get that going as well. So, what an array of color! After the success of dyeing with a larger amount of goldenrod, I'm thinking I need to go back to that field before the bloom is over and pick some more flowers to dry. And that way I'll have some around throughout the rest of the year if I want some yellow. Although I'm thinking I should probably do another batch soon as well. Primarily because I really wanted to use some of this for over dyeing with indigo later on, you know, to get some nice green and different shades of blue. But now I used a bunch of that up to get, you know, the iron green and the copper orange instead. Because I kept adding more fabric to those pots as well. So I think I need more fabric and more goldenrod, both for the pot and to dry, to take advantage of this. And this is what I find so exciting about, you know, natural dyeing, especially when you're picking things like there is a limited window of opportunity until next year, if that's a good year for goldenrod, which, you know, there's always a good year for goldenrod, it seems to be. But it's not like you have this endless time and, you know, you can do it at any point, or, unless you dry, of course. But you're kind of living with the seasons, you know, gathering when you can, and then being able to capture those colors onto fabric. I mean, it's very interesting. I tend to neglect documenting things, but I wanted to make sure I properly did it this time. So here we have just goldenrod, here we have the iron dip, here we have copper dip, and here is the iron dip that I later on put in the copper dip, which definitely leans more towards the copper. I mean, more towards the iron than the copper. But it's just kind of nice. I should always do this. I do it sometimes, but not always. It's been a while. But it's always nice to have, to be able to look back on. And it's interesting to see some things that just kind of fade over time too, which gives you, you know, an indication that these colors don't always last forever. Even though you think they're gonna stay, they fade, or they get less pink or less yellow. Oh, look at this, here we have goldenrod. So we have one, look at this. So not nearly the same level of color during this attempt here. I was probably pretty happy with this though, but yeah, this is all linen. So we got sumac plus mordant plus butterfly bush. But look at that, you cannot compare that to this, can you? Wow. I don't think I had nearly enough goldenrod though. But this time, wow. So, thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for my next dyeing or fabric or other creative adventures. Bye.